And we're live. Finally, it only took us like 30 minutes to be able to get live, but welcome you guys to the Shed to House live stream here on the Better Together Homestead YouTube channel and also over on the Shed to House Facebook group. You guys, it's been too many weeks since we've been live, so we're getting back. We're going to do this week and then we're going to do next week. Tonight, what we're going to be talking about is living in a forest in a shed to house conversion. I mean, how many of y'all ever want to live in the forest in a shack or something? I think I've once heard that there's people that they say, I just want to make enough money so that I can live in the woods in a cabin. Hey, I think that's pretty cool. That's basically our life is living in a shed in kind of in the woods, in the forest. So you guys, thank you for being here. Sorry that there was no heads up, that there is literally no heads up for this live stream. It has just been we were just getting back at it. So that's the good thing. So definitely let us know in the chat where you are watching from. Tell us on your homesteading adventure. Where are you on your homesteading adventure? Are you living on land? Are you working to be able to get to that transition so that you can buy land? Are you homesteading in suburbia? Are you living on in an apartment and just having a balcony garden, just growing a tomato on your back balcony? Let me know. I'm so excited to see all you guys. So we see Ladies Farm. How's it going? Inigo Munez. Inigo. That's a cool name. I like that. Am I pronouncing it right? Inigo. So Ladies Farm is over in Kentucky. Zeus, how are you guys gonna put the cows on pasture? Are you guys gonna put the cows on pasture? Zeus, I can answer that right now. Yes, we're gonna put the cows on pasture. The cows have been on pasture. I would like to show y'all how we do our rotational grazing someday. We'll try to get to that at some point. Autumn, woohoo! Autumn over on Facebook. So glad to see you, Autumn. Thank you for being here. Jennifer says, I would definitely live in the woods. Yes, living in the woods is awesome. I got this idea of living in the shed in the woods. Multiple things. So in our Get Off Your Tail Homestead course, we do office hours every Monday, 1 o'clock to 5 p.m. And I don't want to say her name, but she was basically talking about I think her name Tiffany, just her name Tiffany. She was talking about having to get ready for over in the southeast coast for the hurricane coming. Who is preparing for this hurricane? I'm in Texas, and I am totally used to living in Houston and always being prepared for hurricanes. In Central Texas, we don't have to be prepared quite as much. But let me know if you are having to get prepared for, is it Ian? I think that's the name, Ian. Let me know, are you getting prepared for Ian? Okay, Sherry is in Oregon. Awesome. Glad to see you. Sorry, I totally got sidetracked. The reason why I was thinking she living in the shed in the woods, Tiffany has to get prepared for the hurricane coming, and she has to fell some trees on her homestead so that it doesn't fall into her house. And I don't know if she's ever done it before. So that's a big deal, is taking down some big old trees. I definitely was thinking man, that's Marty Rainey style right there. That's awesome. Okay, Inigo is in Mexico City. Love it. Zeus is in Boston. Way to go. But I really want a homestead. Love it. So did you grow up in Boston, Zeus? Let me know. Okay, Sherry says motorhome living with straw bale garden. Awesome. That is fantastic. I've never done the straw bale gardening tactic. I've never tried that before. Does it work? Do you love it? I'd love to know more. I've heard a lot about it. I think our neighbor once tried it, If you're not familiar with strawberry gardening, you basically get a square bale of straw. I don't think you want Sherry. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think you want actual hay. I think you want straw. I never fully understand the difference between hay and straw. I think that straw is from I think that straw is from the stalks of corn. Like they harvest the actual corn, then all those corn stalks, I think they turn that into straw. But I think you're supposed to like have it break down a little bit more. You don't want to have it fresh. You don't want to have like a freshly cut. You want it to kind of age a little bit and to be broken down. There's even a really good straw bale gardening Facebook group. If you're a Facebook person. Okay, practically independent. I like that. I like that a lot. How you doing? Thanks for joining us. Ladies Farm says, I was in Southern California in a house area, moved my farm here in Eastern Kentucky. Best decision of my life. It's such a blessing. Love it, love it, love it. Jennifer's in Houston. That's where we're from, Houston. Houses on the outskirts of the city, working towards buying land and building. Jennifer, can you have chickens in the city of Houston? So we were in Katy, Texas, and we could not have chickens. But I wonder if Houston allows you to have chickens. For some reason, like the big cities allow you to do chickens, but the smaller ones don't. Like I think Austin City limits allows you to have chickens, but probably some of like the smaller cities, they don't. I think that all that is stupid. So yeah. Let's see. Scrolling. Ladies Farm Girl, I live in the mountains, farm area. Love it. That's great. Okay, so let's definitely if you have to talk about anything here, let me know. We're waiting. So as you can see, let me take this off. It says Bo and maybe Kelly in Georgia. Kelly and Georgia were sitting right here next to me. And then, not to be so graphic, Kelly had to swoop up the baby and go change her. Clothes and all, everything. So I don't know if Kelly is going to be back in Georgia with Georgia, but I hope so because she's just a lot of fun. I like my wife. Okay, so living in the shed in the woods. This is something that Kelly talks about all the time about how, and I do it as well, is Kelly, if you're new to us, Kelly was really adamant on the fact that we had to leave everything that we owned, all of the amenities, all of the Costco, the Whole Foods, Sprouts, all of our church, everybody that we know, to live in a shed in the woods, that she was willing to give it all up to be a mama of 5 and live in the woods. And we needed, in order to make that work, we had to make adjustments for things that, that we were used to having. Like, we were actually pretty debt free in the city, but we needed to be really, really debt free here in the country. Now, that was how it started in the beginning. We've taken on a teeny tiny bit of debt with the tractor, but it's no interest. So I feel like it's a little bit different.
Well, honestly, when it comes to like spending stuff, I should probably take these off because all you see is like weird boob eyes.
Do you want a break?
Sure.
You just said that on the internet. That was awkward.
You guys all get it. When it came down to buying the tractor and deciding like, hey, do we get this now or do we not? It was really more, is this going to be cheaper in 10 years? Is this going to be cheaper in 3 years? And at that point in finances, like we'd made all our debt-free decisions. And so now it's time to decide, hey, if we get a tractor in 3 years, will it cost us more than if we had taken out a loan on it now? So kind of like, I guess that's debt leverage. I don't know. We're learning about debt leverage and it's a whole new conversation for us. So,
I think we missed the opportunity to leverage debt because now
I know
debt is not as cheap as it was. But hey, we got the tractor, so
in a way.
What do you mean in a way? It's no interest.
That's what I just said. Is
I know. So
feel
we
like
we leveraged a little bit.
we
We
leveraged that there.
just didn't leverage like our life.
If you're a
people,
financial planner and you're watching this, you feel free to correct in the comments because we are not qualified professionals.
who likes to talk about homesteading finances on these live streams? I'm always curious of like,
I love to talk about
we
them.
do too. I think that there is a much smaller group of people that like to talk about finances.
I think we need to do like a whole homestead myths series. It's like, what do you guys think is happening? And then what can we bust for you and show you like actual reality? And so people think you're just out on your tractor all day, you're just plowing fields and having fun. Maybe not.
Some people are like those the people that we bought the hay from. They work their butts off. They cut hay every day.
Homesteading business.
Correct. Well, I mean, yeah. We choose to do it slightly different of making money in a different way so that we can homestead and be with our family.
True.
So what do you think? So the title of this, I haven't told you anything, but
I'm jumping in, guys.
this is forest life in a shed to house conversion. So what does it feel like to live in the woods in a shed?
Secure. Is that a good word for you? Like it feels when we drive down our street, we're very tooty baby over here.
Jeez.
Almost every homestead has their home and you can see it from the street. In fact, I think a lot of new builds want to see the home from the street. I want to not see the street. I want to walk on my porch in my underwear and have no problem. I want to go in my garden in my underwear and have no problem. This is the freedom that I chose. Y'all, if you're coming over, you need to text ahead of time is the point of this message. We also have a dirt road, and that I think this is an interesting thing that plays a role in it. When the cars, like, you know, Amazon comes down your street or the neighbors are going to work or whatever, the dust from the dirt road kicks up, but it's almost like a nature filter. You can see the dust hit the trees, but you don't see that dust on our property, like at our front door. You don't see that there because it's come to hit the trees and it stays there and doesn't move on through. At our neighbors' houses, the dust comes straight, just billowing in circles up to the front door and then hits the house. And the house winds up being the first thing that it hits. So I feel really secure living kind of behind a wall of trees. I'm also interested.
You can see if you go and look at it, you can see one side of our trees are just covered in when it hasn't rained for a while. They're just all this dust
from the road. Yeah, it looks like they're all wilting and dying, and it's really just that they are
dirty trees.
Yeah, just dirty trees. So I love having the forest. It also makes me feel like there's versatility because it takes a really long time to grow trees, but living here for 4 years, we're almost going on our 5th year. That means we've been able to see what trees we really do need to keep some privacy, but also trees that we can move to build a new house, trees that we can move to build new paddocks, ways that we can make the trees kind of parked up so that it's more like a park view of them. They're like 6 feet is the lowest limb. That is something that we could only have learned from living here for a little while. And I think that forest gives you a lot of versatility with what you can do on your property.
I just like the fact that you don't have to wait decades to have the trees that you want. You can, when you're in a forest, like a lot of woods, I'm not talking about just like a couple of trees. You get to selectively take out what you don't want. And we're actually about to start doing that because we need to expand our pasture in the back and a little bit in the front, not as much in the front because of what everything Kelly was talking about with the road. I think she's okay. But in the back, what I'm designing, and maybe I'd have it. Okay, find something to talk. I'm gonna show something cool with y'all because I've been playing around with our topo map or topographical. Yeah. And finding the ridge lines and deciding, hey, where can I, what Kelly calls park up and clear our trees so that we can walk in like the summer, we can have pathways and we can walk underneath the trees and go from tree line to tree line with a pathway.
Well,
But
the goal
then
is to create shade
exactly
without taking up square footage.
well, and without eroding, because there's not going to be grass growing underneath our big oaks. But every time we walk, we're kind of just slowly creating erosion in our weak soils and our like where we're trying to establish the grass. So that's
Jennifer, I agree. Thank you, Jennifer Baltazar Hughes. I
what?
am awesome, and I appreciate you. Let's have coffee, guys. I would like to affirm your awesomeness for appreciating my awesome. Yes, we're good all around.
Oh, it's funny. I love it.
I always think it's a cool thing when we get to do lives because it feels a lot more like we're all hanging out. Like when you guys ask questions in the comments or when you just share something. Like I see you guys are building in North Texas. That's amazing because everything that we've done has been without a community of people thinking like, well, what if I just converted a shed into a house? Like that's amazing. I'm sure this is a lot like what the RV community feels like when they're like, oh my gosh, you took your family on the road? Me too. Like, this is how you find your people and then just have coffee with them, except it's kombucha, which also probably narrows down the people here where we would find our people even further. It's a lot of fun. I think this baby may just keep my hand in her mouth the entire time.
It's very possible.
Very possible. Knuckles are big for her right now.
Okay, so Donna says we're going to, let's get some comments. Don says, I have 75 acres and we have pines and hardwoods. We harvest the pines every 15 years and have them planted back. Phenomenal.
Pine trees are amazing.
Thank you for doing that because we need lumber.
Yes, we do. And it's an interesting conversation when the first reaction is, oh no, they're cutting down all the trees. We're from Houston. Lots of trees along the road it takes to even get to our house from Houston, all along 99. And there were tons and tons of trees, like forests built, grown for the purpose of harvesting them. The only way those people stay in business is if they plant more trees to then harvest them. So I think planting trees is a great option.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Donna.
Practically Independent says, our family of 5 lives in 2 campers now. This week we have a 700 square foot building coming that you will renovate to live in. It's
way cool.
That's awesome. So what kind of building is it that's coming?
Love that. Freedom feels good. That's awesome.
Yeah. Let us know what kind of building. I think there was someone okay, from Fort Worth, Jessa, thank you so much for hopping in
here.
Yes. Okay, while I'm looking through some of these, tell me more stuff about living. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, so
living
I think
on the forest.
Let's go back to versatility. 3 things that I would want anyone to know when they're choosing whether they should live in the woods or not. The first is what we're talking about right now. Are you buying a property where you could turn your woods into lumber? That could be lumber for you to use, which is still a long process. Very different than running to Home Depot and getting your lumber. But you could turn that into lumber that you could use, or you can sell the timber and then that's a profit for you as well. Yay, Donna, we're sisters. Let's go out in our underwear, drink kombucha, live in our sheds, the houses in the woods. So that's one thing, is the profitability just from the trees. That's pretty awesome. We wouldn't do that here. We don't have any really profitable trees, but we could use it for our own lumber if we wanted to.
Yeah.
Our trees, I would just like to be a lot older before we harvested them. So that's one, is lumber. The other is privacy, and I don't think there's any way that you can shake it, is the privacy. You can't grow the trees that you want to grow and enjoy them the way you want to enjoy them in the time that you have. Like that proverb, a wise man plants a tree under whose shade he'll never sit. Pecan trees or something. I was like, oh my gosh, we can plant pecan trees. It takes like 20 years before they even give you pecans.
No, you can, if a 20-year-old tree. You can buy. Sure,
you could buy a tree that's a little bit older, but
I found one. There was one in College Station.
You told me to talk. Now you're arguing with me in front of the people.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
But yes, there are ways around that. But if you're just plunking a pecan in the ground and growing it, this is going to take time. But that's probably my third point is homesteading in the woods gives you time to decide what you want to do. So while we're talking about, parking it up in places in the back pasture where we've had no need to have extra shade, we don't spend a ton of time there. But now we've got these animals that really could make the most of our property. We feel like we're stewarding it best if we go to the back of the property with them. But we want to give them space for shade so that we can get a longer time with them out there versus keeping them up close where we've done a little bit more parking it up for our own benefit. So living in the woods, I feel like gives you time to make decisions that work with your property best. This might not be why you're moving to land, but one of the top five things that we wanted when we moved here was to gain this skill to steward land well. Like we just felt like God was saying, go here and learn what you're supposed to learn so that you can steward land well. And I don't know if that's for our next 15 years of life or 30 years of life, or if it's just for this time here. But knowing why we were coming here to steward land well and to learn the skills to make that happen, the forest gives us time to do that because we can do a lot of different things. Go ahead. It's your turn.
I have a question for you. This is Would You Rather. Do y'all ever play this? It sounds weird. This is really weird. Our kids come home from school and they're like, we played Would You Rather. And I'm like, that's weird.
Eat a booger or a stab?
Yeah, this is at our homeschool. So like, there's like all the 14 moms are all there. Those are the teachers. So I would say, would you rather have? So if we went to a new property, and there was both, let's say 20 acres, would you, or let's say 30 acres of the same thing that we had to do again, or for the same price, 10 acres of the kind of rich green pasture soils that has like the bright yellow butter from our cows?
Do I have trees?
So no. So we have to move somewhere.
No, I think I would go with the woods.
So we have to move somewhere and we get 30 acres of the woods and we have to clear everything and start all over again.
Well, the difference is, do we have our property here or
no,
the property down the road, which is no trees, just what you're describing, lush pasture. I would choose ours.
You talking about the ones that was for sale?
Yeah, I would choose more of the same.
You would want the privacy.
For
our family.
And probably a little bit like, well, I think we made a good decision. So
I know.
Would I change it?
That's what
But this is because we had goals. Mm-hmm. If you got goals, you know why you make decisions. If your goals are to get a cattle
ranch,
what is it called? A cattle
operation
going, then you'll want to choose that.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this. We were just talking about in the course that people were like, okay, well, how do you choose what property you want? You really have to know what you want to do with it. So knowing how you want to create income on your property or what kind of life you envision yourself living in. If it's like, I really want a place with a house on it, then you start with the house, right? So all of that shifts what you're looking for when you know what you're going to do with it.
Hey, real quick, I forgot. So sorry. This is bad. Hopefully it's not bad. I'm just a little late on it.
We need to give you a word from our sponsor.
Absolutely. So this Shed to House live stream, our Shed to House Facebook group, is brought to you by United Portable Buildings. You guys, we're getting so many messages now from you watchers who are building the I need to get that who are doing the build out in the Shed 3D builder. So you talk real quick while I find this. I completely forgot.
We always talk about this. You could get a lot of ads from a lot of people, but it matters most when they like what they're sharing with you. So we only bring you guys things that we care about, and United Portable Buildings is one of those. This shed that we're in right now, our studio, is built by them. And in fact, I wish they had built our house. It's our larger building, and this one is built better. So they're out of Cameron. We've gone to their workshop. We've worked directly with their people to design our space. And every step of the way, it was people with experience who said, hey, what do you think about this? She's good.
Okay.
What do you think about this? This might enhance your experience in your shed to house. They've got a lot of experience building them. And so when it comes to advice that they give in the build, it made it simple for us. So this configurator that Bo's sharing right here is like a 3D design. You get to create 2-story buildings or 1-story buildings. You get to put 2 buildings next to each other. Just create, playing around, kind of like a little virtual world right there at your fingertips online, building this cool little shed to house. And then if you guys are excited about it like we were, then we can connect with you and help take you to the next step to actually design it. But this part is like a hassle-free, no risk, just try it out and play with it.
And it's a blast that we've been able to do that with a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool. So it's fun. So thank you, United Portable Buildings.
For giving us something cool to share.
I know. It's rad. Right?
You are wow.
Georgia? Yes.
Yeah, so jump back into questions. We were just talking about the woods, and we were talking about being there together in a space that you create for the purpose you're looking for.
Well, the Naked Gardeners are all about doing it.
Everybody in the chat,
woods,
hey friends,
yeah.
we're glad to see y'all here. I know you're super busy.
Okay, Donna says, yes, I love my property. We can have our cattle, goats, hair sheep, and ducks.
Awesome.
Donna,
you guys are so experienced.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you for sharing that.
So I haven't told you, I'm going to talk with someone for solar.
I had a feeling when Bo came in and told me our electric bill was $300, I expected him to say, hey, I'd like to talk about solar.
Our $330 this past month.
Two spents.
Now our kilowatt hours did go up like 600 kilowatts, so I don't know what happened there. I mean, it was hot. But that's not double what it was last year. Last year it was 130. It's crazy, you guys.
Okay in the heat last year. We were cool with being hot.
I don't know.
We're not cool with being hot right now.
Let's see.
I feel like I am like hot flashing 3 times a day. All that pregnancy hormones.
Ooh, extra source of income of planting pecan trees.
Oh,
that's great.
Awesome, Sarah. How
that's
exciting that you guys have pecan trees.
Practically independent. We harvest trees and have our... Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a sawmill. What kind do you have? I can't remember what it was.
I love how you said, especially with today's prices. There's
I don't think I'll be able to
Bo's
find
like
it.
the king of one-liners, and something that he says all the time is like, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And I think that was our encouragement to jump the gun and get our tractor when it was time. But now, even so, we're making a lot of decisions based on, okay, what are we going to need? Let's go ahead and get it just in case we need it sooner than we think.
Yeah. Suzanne says that I'm wise.
I agree. I don't think we'd still be together if you weren't.
So Sawmill, I can't find what the one I was looking at. Let me know about Sawmills.
She loves watching you talk.
It's fun. I'm trying to find it. But anyway, so another one, it's not really a one-liner, but it's something that we heard whenever we went to Homesteaders of America. So I went to, it was the only one that I was like, I want to see this. I have to see this talk. It was Joel Salatin doing a walkthrough of meat bird butchering. So like he butchered like 10 birds right there while he was talking. Just did it. Had the whole thing from start to finish. And he was talking about the return on investment for a farm of what kind of equipment would make you the most money that you would buy. And he said by far nothing would make you more money than buying some good poultry processing equipment. And he took a moment, he took a beat. He goes, well, besides a sawmill, but that's not for today. So that was like this cool thing.
You're like, oh, wheels turning.
I was like, whoa. So there's like, he was so confident speaking to everyone that poultry processing equipment, but then a sawmill will still make you more money. So I got it. Let me see. So Woodland Mills now. A wood mine. Okay. Man, I got it. Huh?
Just show that comment.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so Practically Independent says we have a Woodland Mills now. We have also had a Wood Miser. Wood Miser is nice, but more expensive since we mill mostly for ourselves. For the Woodland was the best bang for your buck. Okay,
Yes.
I gotta find this. Would you let me buy a sawmill?
No,
Would you let me buy a $7,000 sawmill?
no,
Would you let me buy a $4,000 sawmill?
no.
Okay.
I would let you buy me a new car or a new house before you buy a sawmill.
Well,
And then he's gonna
the
sell me.
sawmill,
Then he's gonna sell me and be like, we
can
could build
pay
our house
for the house.
using the sawmill.
Yeah.
You guys, this is a slippery slope. This is like chicken math or cow math.
There it is. Norwood.
He's like, we could make so much money with the sawmill.
Can you see? Y'all aren't gonna be able to see this.
No, they're not.
But look, it's the Norwood, right there. Get focused, computer camera. It almost had it. The Norwood. Do you know anything about the Norwood? It just looked good on YouTube, so I have no idea. Actually, I think it was an ad on Instagram. The dogs are going crazy.
I get ads for baby bloomers, and he gets ads for sawmills.
So something happened. Her Instagram was like her phone was messed up, and I was doing something in the computer, and she just wanted a zone. I said, "Do you just want to use my Instagram on my phone?" She goes, "No, I don't want
personalized."
She's like, "I want all my personalized
what I
ads
need to buy, algorithm."
Bloomers.
And I bought them.
You did.
I did, and they're adorable.
For yourself? Do they look adorable on you?
Baby bloomers. And they are adorable.
Okay.
And I don't judge.
Suzanne says, got my electric bill today. They charged me $7 today.
Well, that sounds 30. Lovely, Suzanne. We're moving in with you.
What?
We're moving in with you.
Do you live there? Where do you live? Are you in, like, the North Pole? And that is, wow. Canada up there? I don't know what that's going on. Okay. Donna says, saw the video where they used a ladder and rigged a lawn. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Like that Norwood thing. I think that's what snagged me in, is that I've seen the ones that you use a chainsaw. I think Pure Living for Life did that, but it was not nearly as cool as this one. So probably, okay, we're talking about sawmills because we're living in the forest in a shed.
We shifted.
Oh, that's the same one. Wait, we have lots of sawmill videos. Oh, I gotta check that out.
If you want sawmill videos,
yes,
go to Practically Independent.
Practically Independent. Put your link. Just do it, and everybody's gonna go over there and watch you right now. I really love the Woodland Mills for the money. Okay, I gotta check them out. Because I gotta build her a house, so I gotta have I need a sawmill. I gotta do it.
I feel like we've discussed needs versus wants here before, and I feel like that is a want.
Best customer service. Okay, so Norwood, man, I need to do a screenshot of this. Now I can probably work this to my advantage. I'm gonna say like, hey, you got issues with your customer service. I'm gonna let's work a deal, and I'll help you with your customer service. Yeah, I think that so. I think that would be cool to be able to buy a forested location and build your house, or at least build things for your homestead.
But I like the conversation about trees in general, because we've also said, in the suburbs, you're gonna upgrade your house with like your master bath or your kitchen, right? If you want to upgrade your property before you sell it, you want to make sure that you could add in a pond or trees. So whatever you're doing, one of the goals to move here, you guys have heard this, is I didn't want to take on a big mortgage. I did not want to swap and make a lateral move to the country. This had to be an upgrade in some way. The upgrade for me was mortgage. Like, to trade mortgage for no mortgage was pretty great. So when we moved here, we talked about how could we always be on the upside of our property. If we hated homesteading, what would that look like? Like, how do we not get an upside down on the value of our property? Well, the first thing is we bought well, and this property increased double by like the first 2 years that we were here. But if we wanted to stay on the upside, then that looked like putting in trees. So a forest, putting in an orchard, whatever it looks like. It could be, just apple trees or pear trees go really well here. So looking at trees in general can still be a commodity on your property. My like big dream would be that we could purchase property in this area and do a U-pick farm, because I just think that would be so much fun. Like insight into my brain is I'd really love to own a drive-in. I'd love to work at a bakery. I don't think I want to own a bakery.
Drive-in movie theater.
Yeah, drive-in. Yeah, not like a drive-through, not like a McDonald's. Drive-in movie theater.
A drive-in diner.
I'd love to be like in the U-pick have flowers so people could come through and pick their own flowers. Like there were just so many cool ideas that I like think are always community centered and very, very cool. And this is one of them. So you could do that on your property with an orchard or some sort of like you could do it with pecans. I know people who have the neighbor kids come, and however many bushels of pecans they pick from their orchard, they'll pay them, per bushel. So there's a lot of things that you can do on your property. Maybe bushels of pecans are not going to pay your bills, but it's a fun thing to do if it's like something you desire out of that space.
Okay. Is it
thoughts?
I
think she's losing.
She is done, you guys.
I think she is our little time clock that's like, hey, it's almost 7:30, parents. Get me to bed.
But I just can't believe that she, like, when we first started doing these live streams,
I know,
she wasn't here.
She's a little bitty.
Yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. So do you want to have a...
Donna says campground RV. That's another really good conversation.
I know. I just don't want people on my property.
Well, our property's small, but if you have like 100 acres, why not?
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, Suzanne. Okay.
Oh, $7.80 per day.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so let's do last one, practically independent, because you're talking about all the cool sawmill. You still never put your link to your channel. I don't mind you doing that, because you're talking about sawmills, and I want to learn about sawmills. Okay, we just got pigs and chickens and love it. We plan on building a greenhouse so we have a longer growing season. Love it. I don't know where you are. Where are you? We also sell some of the stuff we build. Cool. You're doing it. You're crushing it. That's fantastic. You guys, a short one tonight. Sorry. We had technical difficulties and baby diaper
we did.
issues.
I literally sat down at 6:30 to do this with Bo, and he was handing me the baby. I was like, that is an explosion. I'll be right back.
And so next week, we're going to be back because we're still going to have 2 this month. So I guess we're going to do like 3 in a row here. So that'll be fun. So next week, we will be back. And
send us questions. Email us, bettertogetherlife@gmail.com. And we want to answer those for you. Ooh, debate.
Okay, we'll see y'all next week, you guys.
Bye, guys. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.